Hey, good morning, guys. It's Monday morning, and I just wanted to give you the instructions for the second activity after the anchor chart for what we're doing today in class. It might be a little bit easier if I went through this worksheet with you step by step so you know exactly what to do. On the building an argument worksheet here, you will see that the first step is you need to pick one scenario, either scenario 1 or scenario 2. Scenario 1 is the story that says, opposite Tom's home is a hill. Tom climbed slowly up the hill, walked across the top, and then ran quickly down the other side. You will see that right next to this story, I have put two of the graphs. One of the graphs is the correct one. The other graph is the graph that is very easily confused with this story. So if you pick scenario 1, you will need to choose which one is the correct one and which one is the one that is easily confused. If you choose to pick scenario 2, which is Tom skateboarded from the house, gradually building up speed. He slowed down to avoid some rough ground, but then speeded up again. Again, one of these two graphs is the correct one, and one of them is the one that is easily confused. You would need to figure out which is which. Once you pick your scenario, either 1 or 2, then you will go on to complete the building argument template, which looks like this. The instructions are on this page. I will go over them while referring to this page so you can see what we're talking about. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to complete the main idea. This is what you just have done with the scenario you chose. Here's what I think. You will explain the scenario you chose and then state which graph correctly matches with it. So in this area right here, here's what I think. I think in this scenario, and explain the scenario, that it matches with graph and list the graph that it matches with. That is all that needs to go here, is just that beginning sentence. Now let's look at this portion right here. How do you know? This is the evidence piece. What about the scenario and the graph match up? And you need to be as specific as possible. So first of all, you're going to list what you see in the graph as the evidence. So in these circles, what you see in the graph, for how you know it matches with the story, you need to describe what's happening in the graph. Then your reasoning is how it connects to the story. So once you have your evidence from the graph, you are going to explain in these areas here how it connects to the story. Now, the graph that is easily confused, that is going to be our counter argument. So let's go over here. The counter argument. You could argue that, and you're going to state the graph name that could be confused with this scenario. So you could argue that graph blank could be confused with this scenario. But here's the weakness. Explain why this other graph is incorrect. So you will explain why it's incorrect in this area here. Your strong finish is simply your conclusion. So in conclusion, you're going to restate using different words why one graph is a better match than the other. This will need to be ready for Wednesday's lesson. If you have any questions, please email Mrs. McCabe. When you get this template done, and you may have to redraw it just on a piece of paper if you don't have a printer at home. But when you have this done and all of your reasons and everything, go ahead and snap a picture of it and email that to Mrs. McCabe as well so that I know you have completed today's assignment. Have a great day learning.